I apologize in advance to my male viewers. This video is not intended to insult men. It is just being told from my perspective, and I am a woman. This is one of the few videos I will produce that is not gender neutral. I personally think that men are amazing, so please do not take what I say personally. Thank you, and thanks for watching. When I met the douchebag, he was living with a significantly older woman. They had moved to Oregon from California, and Mr. Bag had told me that their relationship was ending. What was really happening was that he was baiting a trap for a triangulation game, and I walked right into it. What would follow would be years of punishment for getting involved with a guy who was with someone else. A guy who would move a woman far from her home and then play games with her. And I deserved all the pain it brought me because I brought it on myself. Fast forward 6 years. Mr. Bag gets a job at a ski resort. One of the perks was that the employees would get use of the grounds for free during closed times. Or that was the story anyway. DB would often come home very late because he was taking advantage of the free skiing. He worked with mostly single young people who would spend their off hours skiing, drinking, and partying. He would often go on ski trips with coworkers. I never questioned it. Our house was small, and when he was gone, I'd get some rare me time that would be a hot bath with candles and a bottle of wine, a dinner of something that he didn't like, and a movie that he wouldn't be interested in. He hadn't been in this job for very long when he started becoming unhappy with his life. Suddenly, he started complaining that the twins were becoming more and more work. They were 2 years old. He would often come home drunk if he came home at all. His behavior escalated to being more abusive and more disrespectful. He would insult me often and would walk out of the room when I was talking. He accused me of not loving him, and I wasn't giving him enough affection. He started having little fits of temper, and then one day it came, the full-blown rage, which was the beginning of the end for me. I was so angry at myself. I had previously gotten out, and I had let myself be sucked back in, only to have to do it all over again. I swore to myself there wasn't going to be a third time. The next day I told Mr. Bag that I wanted a divorce, and he agreed. That was a change. He never let me go that easily before. And still, my suspicions weren't raised. I was ignorant of girlfriend until after I'd been in my apartment for about a week. I was made aware of her when I went to DB's house to get the kids from his visitation. She wasn't there, but evidence of her was. I said nothing. As far as I was concerned, good for him. We both could move on. Moving forward was all I wanted. I was irritated that he lied to me, but I wasn't jealous. I hadn't labeled him human garbage as of yet, but he was definitely no prize. She did me a favor. While he was distracted with her, he wouldn't be bothering me. When I read the forums about narcissistic abuse, women often complain that another woman stole her man. I have a very unpopular opinion about this that will probably lose me viewers, but here it is. A woman doesn't steal another woman's man. He goes willingly. If it wasn't her, it would be someone else. She may think she took him from you, but what is really going on is that he's a bored child who wants the thrill of a new relationship. It's the truth that eventually he will do to her what he did to you. He may even try to get back with you. Don't do it. Taking your ex back is like taking the trash to the curb, then bringing it back in. There's a meme that goes, "The grass is greener where you water it." That is true. The problem is that the douchebag is watering everyone else's grass and dumping salt on his own. It makes me sad when women agonize over a man that isn't good enough to wipe their feet on. When I see this, it makes me wish that there was a pill we could take to kill the feelings we have for the person who is causing us so much pain, and very often, intentionally. I also wish that we had the ability to view years into the future where we ask ourselves, why was I so wrapped up about him? He wasn't worth all of that. I promise that there will be a time when you will remember that you thought he was the beginning and end of your world, but won't remember why. Any feelings of love for him will be gone, but the lessons will remain. Now is the perfect opportunity to purge ourselves of the douchebag and decide what we want to do with our lives, but we are too wrapped up in the misery of what's happening right now. Looking back years later, we will realize that the situation didn't deserve the energy that we gave it. If I were to go back in time and coach my younger self, this is what I'd say. This is such a big world, and there is so much to do. Go back to school, travel, figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. Make things, create, learn to speak Spanish. It is so much easier to accomplish these things when you are single. Someday, you will look back and you won't recognize yourself anymore. You'll have a thicker skin, be more selective of friends, choose your own family, and emotionally, you'll be a rock. You will love being you, and there will be other people who want to be you. You'll be amazing. You can argue all you want that girlfriend was the cause of my problem. Really, no, she wasn't. I know he lied to her about what was going on, the same way he lied to me about the girlfriend before me. Mr. Bag's favorite game was triangulation. I think that DB thought that girlfriend was a good gamble. She was a fun toy, she would make me jealous, and if she didn't work out, he could always get me back. In his mind, he had an overinflated view of himself. Like that dog in Aesop's fables that tried to steal the bone from his reflection in a stream, DB ended up with nothing and no one. I've been curious as to how it ended. Do you think he was just using her until he was done? Or do you think she saw what he was and left? I look forward to reading your opinions on this. Girlfriend did me a favor, and if I knew where she was, I'd thank her. She probably saved my life, but I wouldn't make the mistake of becoming friends with her. If you're still stinging from that discard, stop focusing that anger where it does no good and focus on the real problem. Him. Get out a notebook and write down all the shitty things that the douchebag did to you until you are good and angry. Every time you feel sad about the situation, read your notes. Take back your brain and move forward. Start being good to you and do all the things for you that he didn't. Start your new you off by doing the things that you love, the things that he thought were stupid. You've got this. Thanks for watching.